I will always take a genuinely scary film over a film that is half-assing it. Smile 2 is the sequel to 2022 surprise breakout hit Smile. In this one, we follow Naomi Scott, who plays pop star Sky Reed. When Sky gets infected with the Smile virus, her life begins to spiral, and all the scary stuff that comes with the Smile virus happens to her. And that's really all the plot detail that I'm going to get into without getting into too many spoilers. This is going to be another non-spoiler review. Now, when I saw the trailer, not even for this Smile, but for the original Smile, I just wasn't really interested. It looked like your stereotypical horror movie off of some little funny, cheesy, trying to make a Smile look frightening and devastating and creepy and eerie or whatever. And I just felt like this movie was going to be like trying too hard to figure something out. And I didn't think it was going to land, so I didn't even bother go and see that. And the critics and everybody seemed to really latch on this film and talk about how good it was, and it was a genuine shock. It was a genuine surprise. And so after that, I'm feeling like the crazy one. I'm like, okay, I'll just skip out on this horror movie, and everybody is saying how good it is and all this, and that. I gotta see what this thing is about. I finally got a chance to watch the first Smile movie earlier this year, and I was amazed at how good and surprising and how much it subverted expectations. And so I knew that there was another one coming out, and I knew that it was with a pop star in it, and it was going to be this different plot and everything. And I was like, okay, I'm excited to see this one. I want to see what comes with this one. And honestly, I was genuinely surprised with this one too. But before we start getting into too deep about how I feel about this film, we're going to do it exactly how we do it every single time. And we're going to get into some of the good, we're going to get into some of the bad, and then we're going to get into some of these stats, my guy. And we're going to start off with some of the good. This film is genuinely scary. And I watch tons of horror films. I watch horror films all the time. And I'll either A, not be that scared, or B, I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's scary, but like, it's, But no, this film is one of those horror films that I can say, this is genuinely freaking scary. Not to say that, like, it, per se, exactly scares me or anything, but, like, genuinely, it's one of those horror films that you can watch, and you can be like, okay, that I can see how that one is going to give people nightmares or anything. But, like, this is one, like, if I watched when I was a kid, I would be fucked up from it. And you know what? I think a few kids are going to be messed up from it, because in my screening, I seen a few parents come in there with kids. I even seen a parent come in there with a baby in a car seat. So, it is what it is. You do you. But genuinely, like, it's a pretty freaky movie. It does its job, and it does it well. And that's down to the sound design, the placements of the jump scares, and the way they do these jump scares, the scenarios, the everything. It's just like really like all combines to really, really get you jumping out of your skin a little bit. I rarely ever jump when I see a jump scare on screen, mostly because there are rarely ever jump scares that like are genuinely jump scares, because like, when it's coming up, like none of them really get you. And this film is no different. It has a lot of jump scares that, like, it's coming. Like, you're like, okay, I'm expecting a scare. Something's about to come up. But it's the way they do some of the jump scares that kind of twists what you were expecting and how you were expecting it to happen. And so it kind of gets you when they pop up on screen. It's like, oh, damn. Like, I was expecting it, but I wasn't expecting that. The acting is all really good in this film too. Like, I honestly can't really complain about a single performance. Naomi Scott came in this film and she did her job, and she held her weight, and you genuinely bought that she was losing her mind and all this. And I also like that, in the film, Naomi Scott plays this pop star. And so there's double the reason why, people can look at her and be like, okay, this woman is crazy. Because one, they established that she has a history with drug use and everything, and, psychotic episodes due to drug use, of course. So, it has a lot of characters looking at her like, okay, she's off her rocker again. But at the same time, it's like, not only just that, but like, she's genuinely going crazy, and we see that we know that she's infected with this, but the public doesn't, and you really get to see how that's like affecting her professional and personal life. And I think in this film, more than the first one, you can really see the effect that that's having on both her professional and personal life. And honestly, in this one, you begin to work up even more sympathy than you do in the first film for its main character, whose name I am blanking on at the moment. And honestly, the start to this film, right? I'm not going to say what it is, but it is genius. Chef's kiss right there. Like, but not only that, but the ending, and I mean, I think this is a point that you can also detract from the film because it is super. The ending is something that I'm betting a lot of people guessed before they even saw this film. Maybe I'm giving it away just a tad bit with that, but honestly, like going into this film, I kind of expected the ending to be something like that, like it was, and I kind of got what I expected. Doesn't really subvert your expectations there. But the way it does it, it's a little bit different than you would probably expect it to happen. And it is a really cool. The film does a really good job at like giving you these manic moments and these psychotic moments. And like, honestly, you begin to like, in the same way with the first film, you begin to almost like, wait, so did that happen or did that happen or what's really happening here? And there are a few things that this film does extremely similarly to the first film in that, I'm not going to say what it is, but I don't know exactly how to describe it too much without giving more detail and kind of giving away what that was. But it is really something really similar that the first film did at least once or twice. And this film does it again, but I feel like they draw it out even longer with this one. But honestly, man, I feel like this film, depending on who you are, I did see this with a friend, and he didn't care for it much, but I feel like for most people, this film is not going to give them a lot to dislike about it. I think if you're looking for a sequel to Smile and you're looking on how to build upon what that first one did, I think this one builds upon it perfectly. And almost like I'm struggling with the thought and thinking like, do I think this is better than the first one? I think it might be better than the first one, honestly. But before we get too far, let's start breaking this thing down into these grades. For casual moviegoers, we are going to give Smile 2 a B. For movie fans, we are going to give Smile 2 a B. And for critics, Smile 2 is going to get a C+. Honestly, I'm splitting hairs with that one there. I don't know. Maybe in the editing room, I'm gonna give this thing a B- or something. I don't know. I'm trying to figure that one out. So there may be a discrepancy with the way that is reflected. Nevertheless, when you're asking me about Smile 2, I'm gonna go ahead and say, consider adding this one to your collection again. I feel like I've been seeing a lot of films lately that I'm telling you guys to add to your collection. By the time you get done, your collection is going to be freaking stacked. But yeah, those are my quick thoughts on Smile 2. I don't know, maybe I'm going to make a spoiler review for this one. I think I want to still make a spoiler review for Terrifier 3. Because I think there's more that I want to talk about. And I think I need to let the film sit with me a little bit more so I can get, I don't know. But yeah, what did you guys think about Smile 2? Get down in those comments below. Let me know what's going on, man. And that's pretty much all that I got for you this time. So I will see you next time. Later.